This is your PowerPoint for the PowerPoint quiz on classical empires, India and Greece. Land and population. India's greatest advantage was its location in the middle of different trade routes. Its major rivers for development were the Indus and the Ganges rivers. Monsoon rains provided for fertile lands for agriculture, and the Indian subcontinent is rather large with hundreds of ethnicities and different language groups. The Aryans. The Aryans invaded from the European region. They formed classes of people into what was known as the caste system. Castes were then further divided into family units called jati. The caste system was seen like a body that was necessary to keep the country united. Major dynasties. Chandragupta Maurya created the Mauryan Empire. His grandson Ashoka expanded the empire and unified India under Buddhism. Buddhism was a reform movement of Hinduism. The Buddhists were sent out as missionaries to China, the Middle East, and Egypt. Kushan invaders eventually conquered the Mauryan Empire. The Guptas then conquered the Kushans. The Guptas united the empire through intermarriage of royal families and by allowing for local control. Political institutions. Regionalism was the biggest challenge for the Guptas. Regionalism means that local cities and provinces competed for power. The Guptas tried to share power between the emperor and the local princes. Also, they used a common language of Sanskrit to try to unite the empire. Religious beliefs. Hinduism preaches there is one force that unites all living beings, called Brahma. Our goal is to return back to Brahma by following the moral rules of the universe, or our Dharma. Honorable action allows us to escape the wheel of life. Otherwise, we remain in reincarnation. This is a process of returning back to life until we escape the wheel altogether. Greece and Greek origins. The Aryans settled in Mycenae. They formed polis, or city-states. Two of the major communities were Athens and Sparta. Eventually, they were attacked by the Persian emperors Darius and Xerxes. The Greeks formed the Delian League in order to defeat the Persians. After the Delian League formed at this point, tension then divided up Athens and Sparta over leadership. Greek political institutions. Athens had what was known as direct democracy. Only 1/3 of the males could participate, excluding slaves, women, and propertyless men. This 1/3 of the population would meet every 10 days in the market square, where they would debate and then vote on issues affecting Athens. Sparta was run with a military aristocracy. There were 2 kings, and underneath these kings there was the Gerousia. This was a council or a senate elected by aristocrats who owned significant amounts of land. Greek religion. Greek religion initially started as a nature religion. Eventually, it was translated into a series of polytheistic gods representing all the human frailties. The philosophy that eventually developed out of this was from 3 major philosophers: Socrates, who believed in critical thought to understand the self; Plato, who stressed the ideal foundations of the world; and Aristotle, who believed that rational study of the world would lead to the discovery of truth. Reasons for eventual collapse. Economics. Land in Greece is very rocky and difficult to farm. Over time, the land became centralized under noble hands. This led to tyrants like Solon. Now, when I say tyrants, I don't mean the way we would typically think of that word today. Tyrants meant a leader who could take power and then redistribute the land so that there would be more equality between the peasants and the nobles. However, this never did really solve the fights between nobles and peasants because there was so little land available. Politically, the Delian League led to a war between Sparta and Athens. Sparta won, but it tore apart all of Greece.